Welcome to Relatively Famous, the podcast where I, Chip White, interview relatives of famous people. My sister is Vanna White of Wheel of Fortune, and that's why I have my little podcast, Relatively Famous. And when we grew up playing golf in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I wasn't very good, and I'm still not very good, but there are 90 world-class golf courses along the Grand Strand. There are 30 mini golf plus 30 plus mini golf courses. The Myrtle Beach Classic is a PGA tour that happens there, which I got to play in the Pro-Am, and it's phenomenal. I suggest get tickets for whenever it's coming up every year. It's just a great place to have a golf vacation, and if you want to plan that, go to visitmyrtlebeach.com. That's visitmyrtlebeach.com, and they'll help you find the best courses for your skill. Now, today's episode, it's going to be a knockout episode because we get the son of six-time world champion and gold medalist Sugar Ray Leonard. Our guest today is Ray Leonard Jr.
Relatively Famous podcast with Chip White.
Ray Leonard Jr., thank you for being with us today. It's my pleasure to have you on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you stand under a very big shadow, as a lot of my guests do, and some bigger than others. Your dad's a big shadow, man. How is it for you to start making your own light?
Well, it was difficult at first because I needed to find my own space. I need to figure out what I was good at. And I had to understand that me not being my father was acceptable. So it took me a long while to find my own identity because my identity was based in boxing and based in my father being six-time world champion and Olympic gold medalist. And so my thought process is, what do I do for him?
Yeah, it's as a sibling, it's a lot different than being a son of the person. I mean, I have no control of my sister's career or anything like that. No one expects me to be a letter turner. Now, I'm a producer. My son has no interest in being in film. But how do you, but everyone looks at me like, hey, are you going to be a movie maker? I'm sure everyone looked at you like, when's your boxing career going to be? Whatever. So, and by the way, you were great in the 7-Up commercial.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that kind of started it all because they saw me in there boxing with my father in the video, in the commercial. And that commercial lived on for 20 years. And so people thought I was 7 years old for 20 years. And also I had to do this all the time.
Now, did you box at all, any?
I did. I boxed in the Golden Gloves, and then I also did a celebrity boxing match years ago. But yeah, not a professional.
So what I always, this cliche question. So what do you do? What is life like for Ray Leonard Jr. these days?
So I've gone through several variations of recreating myself and finding my space. But for the main part, I'm a husband. I'm a father of four. I have my daughter graduated from Pepperdine University, and she's working in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a son that's 21 that's playing football in Savannah State University. And then I have two others who are a senior in high school and a junior in high school. So I'm almost an empty nester. But, I'm building a company that, I want them to be proud of and something that's going to be respected. And this is probably my third or fourth company I've built.
So what's the new company you're building?
So the Leonard Sports and Entertainment, that's my company. And it's a different spin on just being a management company and representing athletes, but we're connecting athletes to opportunity. We're working in our L space, developing big mega events. We're creating a one-of-a-kind boxing league so we can actually give back to the boxers and take care of them, give them some kind of benefits after they're done because 99% of them end up broke. and desolate. So we want to change that. And then we also are doing a lot of stuff in the corporate space and consulting for a bunch of different organizations. So we're pretty eclectic.
Oh, that's amazing. I used to drive limousine part time and drove a bunch of college kids that were trying out for. Um, did we lose you? Oh, oh, sorry. Um, that were trying out for the Charlotte Hornets, and I always ask them, do they know who Junior Bridgman is? He NBA player, never made more than 400,000 a year, but he's worth $900 million because of.
Yes.
And I said, you guys learn what this guy did. I mean, there's too many athletes that, like you said, end up broke because they blow it all. So I love the
Yeah.
fact that you're consulting these athletes.
Yeah. So what are you going to do with going pro after you're done? Like what do you want to go in pro with? The average career, especially in the NFL, it's like 3 years.
Yeah,
So, you have to figure out what else you're going to do after your career. And then now that these college kids are making so much from these NIL deals, and really don't have any knowledge or any guidance on what to do. So there's a lot of space and a lot of responsibility for folks in our industry. And unfortunately, sometimes they just take advantage of people.
yeah, yeah. I was noticing that your daughter played volleyball. Was she at Pepperdine when she played? So is your whole
No,
family pretty
that's
athletic?
Yeah, that's my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter is the one in a junior in high school, so she's on a top tier club team. Plays all around the world. They won the national championship last year, came in second, and then she plays in high school at Vista Marietta High School. So she's a pretty impressive athlete. And my youngest son plays football and runs track and field. So yeah, pretty much everybody in the family is athletic.
Yeah. Now, does Grandpa ever look at him and go, "You guys may be good, but you'll never be as cool as I am"?
Yeah, that's it's hilarious too because they're all bigger than him. It's probably faster and stronger and everything else. But he was determined and had that mindset and will that he would not lose. And so, and it was the big thing that he would work harder than anyone else.
So what kind of it sounds like he instills that in you, and you instill that in your family. What's it like in the Leonard family, as that's a 6-time world champion all the way down to high school volleyball.
Well, it's each one of us makes our own decisions about how we go forward. And one of the biggest things about whenever my kids start something, it's like you will not quit. Now, if you start it, you're going to finish it. You're going to be dedicated to yourself. You're going to be dedicated to your teammates. And that's kind of the biggest thing. It's like, we're not going to do it halfway. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it all the way. It's like, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a certain career path. But whatever you do, you're going to do it at the best of your ability. So that's kind of the expectation.
Yeah, that's good. My son got his black belt in Taekwondo when he was little. He wanted to quit, and I said, "You can quit when you get your black belt or turn 18. I hope you get your black belt first." And he got it yeah, he got it younger, and he committed to football. He committed to scouts all the way to an Eagle. So it's great admiration that you teach your children that, and that your dad taught you that.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing you talked about your son and Taekwondo. I mean, and martial arts was a big part of our family growing up. And if you know anything about boxing or martial arts, it's all about discipline.
It is. It really is, man. And I admire him for doing it. Okay, I saw a photo that was sent, and maybe I'm wrong, but were you guys on Family Feud as a family?
Yeah, we were on Family Feud and we went against Snoop Dogg and his family. And unfortunately, we came out on the wrong end of it. And for some reason, they like to play that same video over and over again.
Oh, really? Because I haven't seen the video. I just happened to see the photo, and I was like, okay, I got to
They play
ask
it
about
every
that.
single day.
So what was it like being on as a family on a game show?
It was fun. I mean, it was different than you expect. The audience was exciting, and it's actually real time. So you don't really have an opportunity to change your answer. when you say something stupid.
I noticed too that you've been some IMDb credits as a producer. What attracts you in business and films? What is it really that makes Ray Leonard focus in on something?
Well, I've been in front of the camera all my life. And so I've been a part of Screen Actors Guild for over 40 years. I have a bunch of commercials, films, television shows that I've been a part of either as an actor or producer. So I love the industry. I love being creative. So from that standpoint, it's always been a part of me. And so when I speak on stage or when I'm entertaining, I mean, I guess that's what in my DNA to be an entertainer and a coach.
When what are some of the favorite things that you like to do business wise, charity wise? I think there's a golf tournament coming up that you like to be a part of.
Yeah, we're putting on a celebrity golf tournament, and it's a women's empowerment tournament in Maryland, Rockville, Maryland, where I'm from. And October 21st, and we have some amazing people that are going to be there. McKenna Morris, who's one of the first round draft picks and stars of the Washington Spirit soccer team, is our host, along with Dr. Jen Welter, one of the first women's NFL coaches, Sugar Shane Mosley, Lennox Lewis, Michael Devereaux, and a list of other celebrities that are coming out and supporting the ladies. So we're big advocates, and since I'm a girl dad of two, I love supporting the women, and we're going to have a great time out there.
Do you think this will be an annual event?
Yeah, I definitely think it will be, and I think we'll be doing multiple events throughout the year. Whether it's at NBA All Star, whether it's at Super Bowl, or just kind of all around the world at some of the biggest boxing events around the world. We love putting on events. We love entertaining, and we do it right. So
So tell me about the Leonard Sports and your new adventure, because I think first of all, agents and management, that's a tough job, man. Bless your
yeah,
heart. So tell me about what is it that you guys are going to do, what you got going on, because it's a great brand.
well, that's kind of where I started off. After college, I played two sports in college at Ohio University. I ran track and field and played football. And when my NFL career didn't work out, it was right around 1996 when a movie called Jerry Maguire came out. And I said, if Tom Cruise can be an agent, I can do it too. So I got my license and then went out and became an agent, but quickly realized that it was much different than what it was on the TV screen. It's much tougher. There's a lot of things that you have to deal with on a daily basis. And when I was young, could definitely deal with it and run around with all these guys. And when they called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, crying about the girlfriend or something, I was okay because I would have the energy. But now that I'm older, look at it more as a corporate experience and not being so much as focused on management, but focused on advocacy and growing the athlete, and putting the athlete in the best position possible, and entertainers as well, and doing things that are exciting for this twilight space of my career.
Now, do you have other retired athletes or actors who are maybe mentoring? If you get a client that will also, you'll help them, they'll have mentors in the business that can share their experience too, or is it, how is it working for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the biggest things about us. Most of the folks that I represented back in the day are still part of the organization. They come and support, they help out the young athletes, put them in a better space. And so we are full of athletes who are former superstars, and they're doing things in other spaces, and we're supporting them in their journeys. And so whether it's like Johnny Damon, who's doing the uh, a sports drink, or whether it's Michael Devereaux that's involved in sports academies and things like that, we're all in to help each other. And so I think that's one of the biggest things about the mentorship and what we do.
So I know that you're on crunched on time. You have somewhere to be. I think your son's got a football thing going on. So a couple quick questions. We'll wrap it up. What's your fondest or funnest memory and moment with your dad that really you cherish?
Man, there were so many. I'm just so blessed to be around. One of them was meeting and speaking and spending time with Nelson Mandela. That was a great time. Another one was being on the maiden voyage of the QE2, the Queen Elizabeth II, and I got to sit next to the Queen and travel from New York to London on this massive ship. And so, from a kid from two teenage parents from Palmer Park, Maryland, that we had nothing, to being able to have those experiences, it's just things that I cherish. And then I guess also sitting ringside at all the fights was always one of my biggest joys. And scariest things to see too.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Just hoping that your dad can deliver the pounding instead of getting the pounding. This is a stupid question, but what's your dad like as a grandfather to these kids? I mean, is there a competition athletically? Is it a lot of humor?
It's a lot of humor. And so, like, he had to learn how to be a grandpa, because he always saw himself as this young, strapping individual. And then he sees these four kids that are bigger than him. My brother has two kids, my niece and nephew, and so it was a transition for him. But now he loves it. He loves to have them over. He loves to come see them, and it's a joy. So. He's doing well.
That's great. I know he's super proud of you. I know you're super proud of him. Last question that I always ask all my guests is, what question did I not ask you, or what is it something that you would really like to share that we didn't talk about?
I guess one of the things is, that I'm not special. I'm just someone who has been put in some places that, make life interesting. There's always ups and downs in everyone's lives. I've been through a whole bunch of struggles, but also overcome and been in a whole bunch of beautiful places. And so my thing is always to encourage people. My grandfather told me when I was young is, when you know better, you do better. And so I think if we're always looking at progression in life and never thinking that, one bad moment or one bad time in your life is the end, we'll all be in a better place. And so that's, kind of always my message, and one of the things I always like to get out.
That's a great way to end it. And just to give you a heads up, in case you heard a whole lot of noise going on around in the background, we're actually in a working comic book store. That's where we podcast from. So there's customers, and the news is here. So it's a fun day. I won't keep you. I know you've got somewhere to go, but Ray, I really appreciate your time and look forward to having you back on. And if we're out in LA or somewhere, maybe we'll have a cup of coffee.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Ray.
Take care. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Like I said, that was a knockout interview. I certainly appreciate all that you are doing for everyone. I hope that your golf tournament is a success every year. And if you want to play some good golf, I suggest you go to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 90 world-class golf courses up and down the coast. And if you want to help plan that, go to visitmyrtlebeach.com. That's visitmyrtlebeach.com and plan your amazing golf vacation. Again, thank you, Ray. I want to thank visitmyrtlebeach.com for their support. I want to thank Nelco Media. I want to thank Nelco Comics for this crazy cool comic book shop here in San Antonio. I want to thank you, the listener, the viewer. We sincerely appreciate, and I'm humbled that you take the time to be with us. Tell all your friends, tell all your family, share it, like it, comment. If you happen to know someone famous or be someone famous and you want to be a guest, reach out to us. We are always looking for guests. Thanks.
You've been listening to Relatively Famous with Chip White. Please like and subscribe to Relatively Famous with Chip White.